Welcome back to Crash Command Games. Sorry for that little bit of an absence, but as some of the followers of this channel will know, or at least some of the viewers, during Magic the Gathering pre-releases, everything gets shut down, which means I don't even bother going to the store. I just hang out, play some games, catch up on projects. That time I was painting my wheels for my car, doing other stupid mods, things like that. But here we are back again for... I already kind of put a slit into it. Oh no. Oh, damn, this box bent up. Effing bent up. We're back on to Bright Lights. We're going to finish this one up really quick. I do have... I do have some minor regrets about the day. Today's our Armory Day. It's Friday. We drafted today, and I wanted to pick up some product because I'm starting to finally get around to building new. I know I'm way late to the party, but timeline, money, roof had to be redone, etc. But I'm finally getting around to building new. So I was like, I want a complete cold foil set to play with. And then I looked at the price of Redback Shroud. And then I looked at the price of Redback Shroud Extended Art cold foil. And no way, no shot in hell am I paying that much for that card. It's a card that doesn't really see play. It's from a set that I thought was going to be opened more, but I guess just wasn't opened a lot of. I just... No way. At the time of this recording, $210. $200 to $210. No. So I decided to open a box at the game store while we were waiting for some of our players to show up early and get some classic Constructed practice, since we were drafting tonight. And while I was sitting there opening my box of Outsiders, gotta premeditate. Codex of Frailty. Ooh, kind of skipping cards here. A Give and Take. And Amnesia. And this thing. That is the best box of Outsiders I think I've ever opened in my life. The only thing that could have made it better is if a Fabled was also in there. But I'm just very happy. Look at this guy. There's no way.
I don't really want this.
No! God, no. Heavy played. Heavy played. There is no way that card should be $200. But I'm very happy that I no longer have to spend that. That cheapens up my Assassin Binder quite a bit. And I also got a Codex of Frailty. It doesn't specifically go in the Assassin Binder, but those things are always expensive. And I got Amnesia and Give and Take. Just good stuff. So I wish I had saved that box for Unpacking the Week, but here we are, Unpacking the Week on Crash Command Games. This time doing Bright Lights and talking about this night's Armory. So here it is, right here. Okay. We have ourselves... this box of Bright Lights. Hopefully I save myself a bunch more money because we are still completing the Bright Lights set. We haven't been able to spend money on singles because of the roof, so I'm just kind of picking up. This is more efficacious for me and my specific scenario because I am doing whole master sets. Otherwise, you should just be buying singles. I still need a lot of cards, and this covers... I don't think it's entirely a break even, but counting shipping, counting tax, counting all of that, it's still efficacious for me to buy a box. That will not be the case for, I think, another week or two, but here we are. Okay. So tonight was our first Rosetta draft. It felt like I was going to mess this one up no matter what. I don't think I did. I think my draft instincts are finally where they need to be for Flesh and Blood. I was reading signposts. I don't know if they're the correct signposts because it's my first draft for Rosetta. I've played a few sealed, so I'm familiar with some of the cards. Okay. And right off the bat, I can tell you, I started picking lightning cards. Red Lightning Surge, a few other cards like that. Just trying to set up one of the two heroes, right? I also first picked a Findell's Fighting Spirit Blue, trying to stay a little bit open, not entirely lock myself out. And later found out, because we were passing left, that 3 people, I didn't know, but I was getting the kind of signals that I had a bunch of lightning people to my left. And then I started seeing some decomposed cards come my way. So I don't think it was too late to do that. But it was pretty late into, I think it was like pick 6 or 7 that I started to think and see some of the decomposed cards and think that I wasn't going to be able to go lightning anymore. I need a bunch of these. So those are always welcome. I'll always welcome those. So I start picking up those decomposes and start really trying to, foil boom grenade, start trying to solidify at least a talent. I get past a couple cadaverous blooms, 3 root-bound carapace or whatever the hell it is, and then I think I'm set. So then I just start picking up Runeblade cards from there. I unfortunately don't see a lot of them, and I start to, on the right pack, when we're passing to the right, start to dry up on both Runeblade and Earth cards. So I was just getting the 1-2, right? I was just in a bad spot. It's okay, though. I still picked up 3 total red meet and greets, a blue meet and greet, a bunch of stuff, really. I wish I had my deck up here, but I think I already tore it apart. Yeah, I didn't get the hottest gas for Florian, but I did get some. And a lot of my games, I was able to turn Florian pretty fast, either on the defense. The first game, I made a mistake, and this is where reading your goddamn cards comes into play. Because first play of the game, my opponent on Verdance just gave a really basic attack. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to full block that, and I'm going to decompose on my turn. I blocked with 2 Runeblade cards and 1 Earth card. Not remembering that it's not just a total of those 3 cards, but in fact has to be 2 Earth cards. That's just me being a bad player. That happens. That's going to happen from time to time. I wish it didn't, because I think that play literally offset the game and made me lose everything. Tempo, momentum, board state, you name it. I lost everything on that play. So that wasn't very cool. Not a great start. Lost that game convincingly. I don't think there was a way for me to win. Game 2, we go up against Acilio. And this Acilio is starting to show me, again, this is my first draft. I've played a few sealeds, but I don't have a lot of exposure to Rosetta yet. So game 2, I get to learn a lot about the, I forget what it's called, but it's the somersault card. This Acilio is blocking 6, somersault, block 6 again, still gets an attack off. Like, it's just crazy value can be extracted from that card, and I wish it didn't exist. I'm sure I've seen some people talking about it, but that card, oh nice, a Steel Soul Tower, always worth it. That's a 10th of the box right there. A little over 10% of the box right there. But yeah, just over and over again, just full blocking, kind of not fatiguing me out, but blocking the big blocks and setting up an arsenal card for the next big turn they have, where they blast to Oblivion. What is it? Blast to Oblivion, returning a sigil of something from their hand after giving it go again. And then the sigil produces embodiment. Another blast to Oblivion, flash in the sigil, not flashing, but instant speed the sigil, do the same thing. And just absolutely beat me up. It was ridiculous. I ended up winning this game somehow. My opponent had a pretty firm lead, but I guess just ran out of gas from having to block so much. So it does tell me that when you're playing Acilio, you need to manage your tricks a little bit. You need to make sure that you're not going all in on that kind of little tricky play, because otherwise you end up getting fatigued by the Florian or the Verdance. Pretty huge plays though. Played a couple sigils. Gave that, what is it, glyph something, the one that gets plus power based on the amount of glyphs you have. Very good deck. I think I just got the upper hand early, and a few too excited to block with that little trick. May have cost her the game, not sure. But that's how that game went. I just fatigued her out, eventually had nothing left. And yeah, took that one pretty handily. Just the Steel Soul Tower so far. Nothing too crazy. Game 3. We're running into Florian. No, Aurora. An Aurora match. The hero I wanted to try to play. Opens up pretty wide, but I get online really fast with my Decompose. And I just start presenting a little too much value. This one was just by the books. It was block, 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 Arsenal the Decompose card. Block, 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 Decompose. And it went like that, almost perfect pattern, right? I had no thing was getting in my way for this game. Later in the game, it was after all of their arcane barrier was gone, or not arcane barrier, but prevention was gone. I thought I was going to have this game wrapped up because I had a meet and greet and a rune chant up. They had these cards that you have to pay attention to when you're playing the meet and greet game. Lightning heroes are much better at defending against the meet and greet game than you think, because they can discard a card. I forget what it's called, but it prevents 2 damage to their hero. Just discards, prevent the next 2 damage done to your hero. And that obviously prevented the 1 rune chant and then let them block with a 3 block to cover up the meet and greet red. Super good value out of those cards. Don't underestimate them if you're playing draft, okay? If you see those cards that discard for any kind of value, just pick them up. Pick them up. They are good stuff. And then nothing. Okay. So he stayed in the game, and the crazy part was, I then was able to pop my gloves and then meet and greet with 2 rune chants. Okay. This is after I played some kind of sigil that gives me an embodiment of earth. I forget what it's called. Okay. So now I'm coming in for another meet and greet. Again, has the discard to stop the 2 rune chants, and this time has to block with 2 pieces. Still returns an attack on their turn, and we continue to loot. My turn breaks. I crack and get the embodiment of earth. I then use the, what is it called? The Deadwood Dirge, I think it's called. Crack, give me 2 rune chants. The 3rd red meet and greet comes out. And they go, dude, for real? And I'm like, yeah, sorry, I got a ton of this meet and greet action going on. And wouldn't you know it, they had another discard effect. And then this time had to block something else. Okay, kind of getting annoying at this point, but that's fine. They didn't full block and let this last meet and greet hit, giving me 2 rune chants. Okay, because they knew that I had actually revealed that that was my last meet and greet, which I shouldn't have done. But I did, because, you know, it's whatever. It's just an armory, you know? So they let some of it hit. And then I present... what is it called? It's called Splintering Deadwood, okay? Presented the red version of that, split up, got some more rune chants, got way more rune chant value. They had to block 6 with 3 cards, letting 1 get over, putting me to 3 rune chants. It was just constantly too much pressure. Ooh, a smashing performance. That's always cool. Smashing. And then I went ahead and picked up that one as well. Last one was just, I just had to swing with the sword, and 3 rune chants were just going to get, they were at 1 by this point in the game. So that Aurora matchup was pretty solid. My deck just performed really well there. Game 4 is against Verdance again, against another Verdance, which is unfortunate because most of my deck is tailored against the attackers, not Verdance. I only have 1 red brush off, which brush off is good, but you know, it can only do so much. So we get into the game and it kind of looks like I'm going to win. I present first turn. It's like a, what's it called? It's not like strong seeding or something like that. It's called strong something. Strong. I forget what it's called, but it's definitely a dick joke. strong. What is it called? Strong sprout? I don't know what it's called. Either way, I present that and then swing with the thing that gives me embodiments of earth, forcing 2 block. So I'm already starting the fatigue game pretty early. And I think that's the way that I'm going to have to go, unfortunately, because I just don't have, unless I pull all of the meet and greets in 1 turn. And then the game proceeds to go, he has an awkward hand, and I draw the cards that would like to see me create an aura, but none of my auras. Eventually, I kind of get the setup, right? I get to play one of my sigils, one of my earth sigils. I have that. I have 2 meet and greets in hand. And I'm just like, I'm just going to swing for 4. I'm just going to take whatever damage is next. I'm going to arsenal one of the meet and greets and draw 3 cards. I was maybe two or 3 cards off of second cycle. I wanted to draw the Deadwood Dirge, the one that splits up an aura into rune chants. That's what I wanted to draw. It it came one turn after that, which means I was 2 cards off based on my pitch. I was 2 cards away from it and didn't. And it was kind of a gamble. I was like, oh, I must be drawing one of the Deadwood Dirges soon. I haven't seen them all game, and we're getting in super late. Of course, I don't draw them, right? I was kind of banking on that. So then I'm just stuck with 2 meet and greets, a blue, and some subpar hand that really isn't. It really isn't going to work. Evo Facebreaker. I think I still need one of those. Obviously, I get my subpar value. I get them pretty low. I get this Verdant's pretty low. I think I get him down to 1 or 2 a few times, but then he just obviously just gains like 3 or 6 life or something like that, and eventually just grinds me out. So I lose game 4, and overall go 2-2 for our draft. Not too bad of a showing. I'm not too mad about it. You know, I can't be mad. Did you see what I opened? This right here? Opened like a $400, $500 box of Outsiders right before the draft. No, I'm not in a bad mood at all. And they're cards that I want to use for the next deck I'm building, so it just saves me money on money on money. So that was how my draft went. If I remember right, we had 3 Verdances, 3 Auroras, 3 Florians, 2 Acilios, which means we had a couple more Auroras than I thought, because I did count the amount of Florians correctly, but the rest were Auroras, actually. And then we were comparing Aurora to the new Phi, and we all say, no, Aurora is much more interesting, to be honest with you. I take a little bit of offense to that, because I love me some Phi, but, ooh, there we go. It's not an expensive one, but you never know. It was a really Aurora-heavy event, and that surprises me, because I, for some reason, had it in my brain that Florian was going to be the most popular hero, hands down. Now, I don't know why that is. I just think every time I see anything that looks like Arthas, right, I just say, oh, that's clearly going to be the most popular, right? Now, it seems to me that for some reason I always get stuck into Florian. All of my sealed pools pointed to Florian. My only draft so far has pointed to Florian. I want to get more of this experience in to see what everybody's consensus is. Have you guys drafted? Like, what have you seen? Is Florian the default answer, or am I just getting weird pools? Am I just getting weird drafts? What have you guys been drafting? Please let me know. Oh, actually, saved me that's not expensive, I don't think, but it's a cold foil one, and that saves me a bit of money. Okay, love to see that. Cold foil adaptive plating. Thank you. All I want to see now is like an already dead. That would be fantastic. But yeah, what have you guys been drafting? Tell me. Let me know in the comments below. I really want to know what people are thinking about Rosetta. I'm going to start getting into it a little bit more. Obviously, as my time frees up, I'm starting to get a little more rebellious at work, so I can't put it in any other way than that, except I am getting a little bit more rebellious at work. It's just they keep asking me to do more and more and more, and I keep saying no and no and no, and it's kind of like that thing where the guy goes, are you comfortable working in a fast-paced environment? You mean a poorly managed one? That's exactly what that is, right? Unrelated to Flesh and Blood, but just venting a little bit. Some of my higher-ups didn't know how to close, so I had to do it, but I was just sitting there defiantly saying I'm not doing it. Some of my higher-ups didn't know how to go through a pretty expensive procedure that has like federal tax implications. And they're like, we know you know how to do this. I'm like, it's been, and my smart ass says, it's been a while, and maybe I don't. I'm just getting rebellious, you know? It's just, this isn't true everywhere, but promotions at this place are pay cuts. Okay. You're just going to do more work for more hours and overall make less. It's the only way I can put it, right? Not related to Flesh and Blood at all. Just, you know, part of unpacking the week, just kind of venting a little bit. This is a pretty good box, though, so far, man. I mean, got those Steel Soul legs, cold foil adaptive plating, a smashing performance. I think this box is probably paid for itself, so that's good. And they're all cards that I needed anyway, except for like a lot of the commons. I've got a bulk box going already. Wonder how I need to get rid of that stuff. I may never know. Gas up, gigawatt, bull bar, torque, nothing. Come on. Give me that Marvel. Give me that Marvel Singularity. I know I'm asking for a lot today. I've pulled a lot of good cold foils today. A lot of good cards. I can't be too greedy, but man, I want to see that cold foil Singularity or the Marvel Singularity. That would just make my fucking month because that roof, I don't care what anyone says. That shit is expensive. I'm sure no one's arguing that point, but system scrap. No Marvel. Come on, Marvel something? I don't know. How many boxes of this have I opened on camera and seen no Marvels? That's kind of weird, huh? I'm supposed to get like a Marvel a case, right? At least one. And I think I'm the only one opening this product out of my store, so not a lot of mech players in my store. There might be soon, because again, we got a huge influx of new players. Got my first crazy patron. And then I got another. You know what? Please check out that Patreon. That helps me out so much. It's such a huge boost. Anytime I see anybody join that, I'm like, somebody actually believes. Somebody believes that I'm doing something. Go ahead and check out that Patreon. Get into this Discord. Talk to my awesome community. We're just... obviously, it's not just me. They're people. They're cool people. And you can connect with them. They have good resources. They're all really, really decent players. As we've shown every time we go out and try to conquer the world. We don't do terribly. That much is for sure. Mechanical strength, the foil hyper scrapper, and that is it for that box. I don't really have a lot else to talk about. We've already talked about those bans last week. Just my experience with draft. I want to know your experience with draft. If anybody wants to talk about that in the comments, please get it below. Jump in the Patreon so we can discuss more of our experiences together. Check out that store, CCG, Crash Command Games, sorry. Crash Command Games on eBay and TCG Player. I've just uploaded a bunch more Arcane Rising stuff, and I'm going to be uploading some more of that stuff later. Some of it's going to go quick, some of it's not, you know how it is. I'm going to try to catch up that backlog to make sure I have as much singles available for anybody a part of this channel. And if you do see things on there and you are local, someone has already done this, go ahead and reach out to me and see if you can do a local pickup to save a little bit of money, okay? Guys, thanks so much for watching Unpacking the Week this time. This one's zeroed.